Hi everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studios. I'm back from vacation and I had a great time, and I will talk about that as we are working on another piece of another pocket for our journal. Um, so anyways, I'm going to sit down and get started, and I'll tell you about my vacation. It was absolutely fabulous. Okay, I did come back with a cold, so I may have to every now and then pause the video if I have to cough or something. Luckily, it's not COVID, and quite a few people that were on vacation with me that I went up to visit ended up with a cold. But, you know, we were around a lot of people, so it's no wonder. So anyways, what we're working on is our butterfly journals. And I made this, let me see if I can, I don't have a tag right here, but I made this little altered like envelope, and I picked 3 that were identical, okay, from our city, so that they would look the same, and they're ones where you would put a tag in here. So I've got a little thumb hole here. I did cover the inside that you would see and just collage the outside. So that's what we're making. So the first thing I did is I cut the envelope down. So I used this part like this, and I just marked it, excuse me, and just marked it like right about there. And let's get the cutter down. And we're going to go ahead and cut right about where that line is. I mean, none of these have to be perfect. And this piece I'm going to keep. And so we're going to make the same out of this envelope. This journal has 3 signatures, and I tend to make identical type pockets, excuse me, in that for each signature. They're just decorated different, or they're different colors or something like that. So these I'll put aside. Okay, so this is what we have, but we want to decorate the inside. So we're going to kind of leave this here, and it's going to look like this. So I want to trim off the edge of this on each one, and I'm just going to do that with scissors. If I can find my small scissors. I could do it with the cutter, but I feel better just taking a sliver off with the scissors. And do the same on this one. Okay, so now we have an envelope that totally opens like this, okay? And then, let me just see, okay, perfect. And this one opens as well. Yes, okay. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and decorate where this folds over. So we want to decorate this side and the top, because I'm going to make a notch, a thumb hole notch. So I want this paper to show through. I don't want it to be white right here, and we want it to have a color there. So what we're going to do is, if this is the envelope, then we want to decorate this side right here on both of these. Okay, so I've got some collage paper over here. Excuse me. So this is kind of what I used. So we've got some of that. And then let's see what else we have. We have some purple. We have some of this blue. have some pink. I have a lot of items here. I emptied everything I saved from my trip because I'm going to be working on a journal of where I was on vacation once I print all my pictures out. Let's see more of this. Got a piece of pink. And I think if push comes to shove, I could maybe use this right here. Well, but we'll see. We'll see what we have here. So I don't necessarily want to do the outsides the same. So I'm thinking what we could do is I'm just going to mark this where I want to put it. And to make sure that I get it in the window. So if I do that and I put this right here, I should be good. Okay. We should be good. Yep, look at that. And maybe I would opt to get this flower in so I could move it over just a hair. Good. So that looks good in the window. But then we're going to need to do this piece up here. So I think if we want to keep it the same, I could use this piece right here. I think that'll do it. So let's get that those glued in. When I go to collage the outside, then I can start talking more about my vacation, which was fabuloso. But for right now, I have to concentrate just a little. Okay, then we want to put this one here, and we wanted that flower there. So I'm going to, I think that'll be good. Okay. So what I did was, my sister works for Liberty Mutual Insurance, and a few years ago she hit her 25-year mark, and they awarded her a trip to Boston, which is like where their home office is. Oh, that looks pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to cut the thumb hole yet until we collage the front, but we know we got the inside done, so let's do the inside of the other one. I should be able to put that there, but I think, oh, that'll be perfect. So let's mark that just so I know where it goes. So they awarded her with a trip to Boston, and what they do is they pay your airfare and your hotel, and then they give you a stipend for meals and that kind of thing for a few days. I think it's 3 days or something. And she was unable to, she had asked me if I wanted to go. I said yes, I wanted to go, and then COVID hit, so we did not go. So they just released, so she couldn't take the trip. So they just released it, and we had planned it for, and you can pick your dates. And so my nephew was getting married in Syracuse, New York on the 3rd of September. And so I suggested to her that maybe we could fly to Syracuse instead of Boston, spend time with family, rent a car, drive over to Boston, and then drive back and be back in time for my nephew's wedding. And that is exactly what we did. I'm going to put that right at the very top up there, okay. And so that is what we did. So I left here on the 22nd, I think it was, 22nd of September? No, 22nd of August. She flew from Dallas to Syracuse, and I flew from Florida to Syracuse. And she made the flight so that we got in like within 20 minutes of each other or something like that. And we rented a car, and oh my gosh, we spent the next couple of days visiting with family, because my sisters, okay, so all the kids were coming for the wedding. So the first part of the trip, my sister's daughter is a teacher in the Syracuse area. My nephew, who was getting married, and his fiance live in the Syracuse area. And my other niece, my sister's other daughter, lives in Canandaigua, which is about an hour away. So we spent the first couple of days just visiting family. I got to meet my great nieces, 3 of them that I had not met before. And we just had a grand time. And then my sister and I took off for Boston. Trying to think of what's the, I can't remember, because like this is just the black envelope, and I don't know if I need to cover it first, do the thumb hole, then glue it. So we're gonna move this one off to the side, and we're going to collage the fronts of these envelopes. Anyways, so her and I drove to Boston. And, you know, it's about a 5-hour drive from Syracuse. And so when we arrived, we stayed, oh my gosh, at the Westin. It's right in the, oh, I hate getting old. Anyways, it's a beautiful hotel. I think it's in Copley Square. But anyways, beautiful hotel. And we were on the 29th floor. So I took the bed near the window, and this is no lie, I never closed the curtains. That view, day or night, was absolutely stunning. And I would get up periodically during the night, and I would just look out the window. It's like, oh my gosh, look at that view. My sister would go, are you looking at that window again? Anyways, it was just stunning. I might have cut that a little too small. Let's. So anyways, it was beautiful. Yeah, that's not wide enough. Sheesh, I can't believe I trimmed that off. I thought I had the other piece. Anyways, let's mark this right here. And then mark this right here. But anyways, so hotel was beautiful. The first day we got there, we, you know, just kind of unloaded stuff, rested a little bit. She drove the whole way. And then we went to the north side. We took a taxi to the north end and had dinner. And oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. The North End is, I think it's like mostly like Irish, Italian, you know, the immigrants there. And they have fabulous restaurants and pastries and bakeries, and just felt like old home week actually, when we used to go to our church festivals, because I think they actually had St. Anthony's Festival there while we were there. It was all decorated, so I got lots of pictures, and it was just phenomenal. And so we went to dinner, and then the next day I signed us up for what they call the duck tours. And I'm sure if you've all been to anybody that's been to Boston knows about those. They are vehicles that they actually do a tour of the city, and there's a lot of history that they give you, and the people that run the tours are hysterical. I mean, the stories, it's so entertaining. It was amazing. Anyways, so so I really enjoyed that. And that what happens is it's supposed to be like an 80-minute tour, and you get on and it's open air sort of, and they have a host, and he's talking about the different sites that you're passing as they do the tour of the city. And it's very interesting because it's very historical. And excuse me. And he was so funny. I just could not believe it. So I was like totally entertained. But anyways, so you go around the city, and they give you, you know, he narrates kind of, or tells you stories about the history of Boston, and adds his humor in there, keep you entertained. And then at one point, this vehicle goes in the river. So we went into the Charles, it drives right into the Charles River. Okay, so I was impressed with that. Doesn't take too much to impress me, so. But anyways, I was very impressed with that. I want to trim this off a little bit. And then they take you down the river and even tell you more, you know, stories, historical type stories. It was just a fabulous, fabulous tour. Then we got off that, and we walked to Boston Common and the Botanical Garden. I mean, we saw so much while we were there. The Botanical Gardens are gorgeous, a lot of history in there. I got beautiful pictures. It's the first time I've really walked quite a distance since my hip surgery. So it did take me a little time. My sister was very patient with me, and it was just amazing. So we did Boston Common, we did the Botanical Garden. I'm trying to think. Well, I can't even remember in order the different things we did and where we ate and that type of stuff. And then, but anyways, so the next day it was supposed to be very, very rainy. And we did what they call the hop on, hop off. I want this to go, well, I guess it could go this way. We did the hop on, hop off tour. And it's where you just take the regular, like bus system or whatever they have, and they have different stops. And you can get on and off whenever you want. You just have to show up at the stop. It goes by the stop about every 15 or 20 minutes, any stop that you go to. And and again, it was another, they narrate the history, and we went up on Beacon Hill. It was just amazing. But what we did was we stopped at where the Boston Tea Party was, at the harbor there. We didn't go through the museum because it was raining and it was kind of icky out. But we walked along the harbor. We both had our umbrellas. We walked along the harbor, and we found this place called the Barking Crab. Oh my gosh. And we had lunch there. And I had fish tacos. And of course, my sister said you can't go to Boston without getting a lobster roll. So that's what she had. And it was delish. Absolutely delish. And so we just walked around and experienced that whole area where the boats were in the harbor. It was really nice. And then I'm trying to think. Our last night we went back to the north side, which ended up being my absolute favorite place. The north end, I think. I call it the north side. In Syracuse, we have a north side, south side, whatever. But in Boston, I think it's called the north end. So we went there, and, oh, this is going to be pretty. So we went there, and that ended up being my favorite place, because I could imagine myself living there. I'm going to try to make it go all the way across there. But anyways, then the last day we drove back to Syracuse, and from there we went to, actually it might have been our first trip into Syracuse. We went to Canandaigua, where one of my nieces lives, and her boyfriend is a coach at Hobart College. He coaches basketball at Hobart, and so they live about an hour outside of Syracuse. And we went to a wine tasting, because it's all wineries out in the western part of New York. And we did a wine tasting, and then we went to dinner. And it was, again, phenomenal. And I just enjoyed my time. That's the first time I had met her boyfriend. She's been dating him a while, but I haven't been up there, so that was really fun to meet him. And let's see. But anyways, then because the 3rd, which was a Sunday, I believe, was the wedding, was Steph and Ryan's wedding. So they were getting married at a place out by the Turning Stone Casino. So we all went to Turning Stone the night before and had a dinner at the Italian restaurant in the casino. I think there was probably about 20 of us, family. And then, of course, we all went to the casino, and the next day was the wedding. So we go to the casino, and I was just exhausted. You know, we're there with the young kids. I mean, these kids are in their 30s, you know. And, you know, they were all like gambling and having a grand time. Oh, look how pretty that is. And so I had said to my one niece, how long are you going to be here? Because I was going to take a shuttle and go back to the hotel and just relax and let them play or whatever. And she said, well, you know, we're going to hang out, probably gamble a little bit, and maybe get something to eat. You know, that kind of thing. About an hour. So I thought, well, I can hold out an hour, you know, because this is my sister's family. So, she wanted to spend as much time with them as she could. So I said to my sister, I'm just going to go sit over here and play these penny slots. And hang out, because I need to get off my feet and that. So that's what I did. Sat down. I put $20 in this slot machine, because I don't know how to, like, I know how to gamble, but that's pretty high stakes. Like, they were playing blackjack, and that's like $15 a hand or something. So I'm good with slots, but it's been a long time, and you'll find out, because the last time I played slots, you actually had to pull the handle. like that. Now you don't. You just put your money in. Makes it really easy to lose money because you just sit there and hit the button, hit the button. But anyway, so I sat down at this machine. I had no idea how it worked or whatever, but I thought I kind of had a little strategy going. And so I had put in $20. I put in $20. I started playing and I got up to about $26.15. So I was ahead $6.15. I don't want to. And all of a sudden, the machine, I couldn't push the button. It wouldn't move, and I looked up and there was a banner going across that said, like, you know, contact security or something. You won $25,288. So I kept pushing that button thinking it's frozen. Now I've lost my $20 and then the $6.15, it's frozen. So my niece was around the other side and I called her. I said, Molly, come here a minute. And she goes, what? And I go, just come here a minute. And I said, I think this machine is frozen. And she looked at the screen and she goes, oh my gosh, Aunt Tommy, you won $25,000. I said, no way. She said, yes. So she hit the call security button. Well, by then she's on the phone with my nieces and my sister, and they're like, come over here quick. She's going, come over here, Aunt Tommy. And they all thought I might have fallen because of my hip. And they came over, and in fact, I won the jackpot, $25,288. Talk about exciting. I mean, those kids were more excited than I was, I think. It didn't feel real, is the thing, is they tell you you win, and it kind of doesn't feel real. They come and they take your license and all of that. I think I'm going to use part of this. You know, and then they have to open up the machine and, you know, make sure there's nothing, you know, crazy going on or whatever, that you in fact did win. And they asked me, you know, are you going to want to get your picture taken? And I guess they do this like kind of fake check thing so you can hold it up. And I said, I don't care, you know, whatever. Well, come to find out, if you're not from New York State, they don't do the picture thing. And I think it's because they don't really want people to know that out-of-staters are winning their money. I don't know. It's just a guess on my part. I have no idea. But anyways, so it took a long while for them to open up the machine, check everything, you know, make sure it was legit or whatever. And then they asked me, you want cash or a check? And I took a check, and they kept the taxes out, and voila. Talk about a great vacation, right? Well, then the next day, or wait, was it? I think it was the day before or something, or that day, my niece had put in an offer on a house, and they've been kind of disappointed because they've been looking at houses. They just had their second baby, and they really need a bigger place. I mean, they're living in a townhome or condo that her husband bought when he was single, you know, before they got married. So it's, you know, not conducive to two little kids. It's just not enough space. So, and they've been looking at houses, but they go so fast. So they've just been sort of disappointed. And anyways, they put an offer in on the house, and they got it. Like within the hour, it was accepted. So that was fabulous. And then we went to the next day, Sunday, my nephew got married. They had a beautiful wedding. The kids had a blast dancing, and just, it was a great wedding. It was short ceremony, but funny. My nephew's friend officiated. It was just a great wedding. And then they all went back to the casino, but I called, we went back to the hotel so I could change, and we changed, my sister and I changed, and I just told her, I said, you know, I'm sorry, but are you okay if I don't go back? Because I was just tired. This old lady just can't handle it. And my sister, who is, you know, about 10 years younger than me, she still can handle all that partying and stuff. But anyways, so she went over to the casino. I just went to bed. And I woke up, she got in about 2 o'clock. And anyways, I guess it was a grand time. They had a grand time. So I want to put that there. I want to put something else right here that maybe a piece of pink again, maybe like that, I think. So anyways, they had ordered her some food, so she came back to the hotel with some food. So I woke up to the smell of food, which we had eaten at the wedding. It seemed like the whole time I was up there in Boston and New York, all I did was eat. But anyways, then we had to go back to Syracuse the next day, stay one night, and then we flew home. And it was the first time, I'm looking for an eraser, it was the first time I had been away from the puppy for that long, so I was quite nervous. But I knew he was still alive, so so I did okay. So it was nice to come home, not live out of a suitcase, and, you know, see the dog. I was happy. And but I have to tell you, it was like the best vacation ever. Being able to see my family like that. I think I want to do it like this, yeah. Being able to see my family like that. I don't know what side I did the other one on. Let me see. So I did it on this side. So let's turn it this way and turn it this way. Okay. Okay, I need to pause because I need to clear my throat a little bit, get a drink, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's move this off to the side a little bit. I'm going to put these right here. Keep this one over here. So now what we want to do, so we want to cut our thumb holes, glue our back on, and decorate with some butterflies. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I think, cut my thumb hole. So let's use the small circle. Nope, I think I want a big one. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball where the center is. And I'm just looking to see if I have the same amount outside of there as I have there. And I think that's about right. But I'm going to make the thumb hole a little smaller. Oh, see what I did is I didn't put the up here because I thought I was going to twist it. So we need to put more paper right there. See if I did the same thing here. And I did. So it doesn't matter. We could turn it this way if we want. Let's do it that way. Because I know that this side is already decorated. So again, I'm just looking to see if that's kind of centered. Okay. Now, see, this is good because I've got that, but now this one I have to put some paper right there because I cut the notch on the wrong side. So how about if we use okay, so I'm going to just go like this. Okay, so let's glue this down there. Okay, I'm going to just trim that just a hair, and then we're going to glue this flap down. Like that. And we're going to glue this end too, which I totally did not do. So let's do that with our art glitter glue. You can tell it's been a while since I've been in this craft room, huh? So I'm just going to glue that right here with our art glitter glue. Right along the bottom. Perfect. And that should give us a space right in here for a tag. Then do the same with this. Let's go ahead and use our art glitter glue so I don't forget to do the bottom. Okay, and then we want to distress and put our butterflies on. Now we do, because I didn't, because I have these on the opposite side, these two are kind of cut the same, so the window's on this side, this one's on the opposite side, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and I distressed this one in blue. So I'm going to distress this one in purple. Try to just make them a little different. Oh, the other thing I was going to tell you too that happened was when I got up to Syracuse, the beginning of my vacation, my sister and I were standing in line for the rental car, and I got a call from my grandson who was on a waiting list to, oh, I don't want to do purple, let's do green, who was on a waiting list to go to Japan for, to teach English as a second language. And he was actually just chosen to be an alternate. And they told him that he would know if he was going before April of next year. Well, he called, and like I said, we were in line getting the rental car, and he said, well, I have some updates. And he said, do you want me to call you back if you're in line? And I said, no, we're waiting, so go ahead, whatever's going on. Well, he got selected, so he's going to leave right away, like in November, beginning of November. Well, he's living with his girlfriend down here in Florida on the other coast, and it did mean that he was going to have to be gone for like 6 months, and she moved in with her mom to wait for him, to figure out what they were going to do. Well, come to find out, they changed their policy, and if you're married, she can go. So he told me that they were going to get married. So they have since done that in a civil ceremony so that they can get all the paperwork done, and he'll go ahead first and get everything set up, and then she'll follow. but we are going to do a reception with very close family and friends in the end of October. So that's so exciting. So now I have a brand new granddaughter-in-law. So exciting. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick out some of these. See, I have all these butterflies, and because I did this one in green, I'm thinking I would pick green, but I don't necessarily want to pick all the same flowers or in the order that they're there. So let's do that one. And then, I don't know, that's kind of nice, huh? Kind of big, different. Oh, I like that one. Then let's look for a medium and a different. Let's see. Medium. And then got little ones. Maybe we'll do it like this. That's kind of cute, huh? Okay, so that looks good. So let me just pick for this so I don't replicate those. And then we've got a pink one. I was going to slide this one in just so you can see it. Pink one down here. And then a... Oh, I do like this green one. Maybe right there. And how about that one right there, or just to make them look a little bit different? I think that looks good. So these, I did a lot of fussy cutting and got all these butterflies cut so that I can put them away when I'm done. Okay, so these, I did this in green, so I want to distress the butterflies in green as well. So anyways, all I can do is sum up my vacation as the best ever. My sister, I was so glad she asked me to go with her. And that she was patient with my walking ability. We covered a lot of ground. I got a lot of steps in, but it did mean that every so often I had to stop and just, take a break, lift my feet a little bit. But she was marvelous about it. And now I came home and I've brought back with me a little bit of a cold. I got nervous, so I tested for COVID. Do not have COVID. However, my sister-in-law messaged both my sister, my niece, and I last night and said that her kids both tested positive for COVID, whom, of course, I was hugging and kissing the whole time I was gone. But I really just have a head cold. I don't have any other symptoms or anything. So because I had tested a couple days ago, I thought I'll just wait another day and then I will test again. This one I trimmed in purple, so let's distress in purple. And I'll test again just to be sure because, I have to work next week, so I want to make sure. I went into work this week, but I wore my mask because I was sick and I just thought I had a head cold and I didn't want to spread that. So they should be safe at work. But I would, if I've been exposed, then that's something I just have to tell everybody so they know. I was a freak about COVID, so I boosted up, I masked up. I think I was the last one that ever took my mask off, and even still I carry one in my purse if I don't feel safe. Like at the airport, when you're standing in the security lines, I had my mask on. I didn't feel comfortable being that close to people. So that's kind of how I do things. I'm the last holdout for all of that. And this one's done, so we're good. So we just have to glue these down. And I just use a glue stick for that. And so hopefully I'll test negative, but whatever. I don't feel real bad. Just, you know, it's really just like a head cold. So anyways, that was my vacation and it was great. I think I had this up here and I like it up there. So there, now we've got 2, and then this is our last one. But I have to tell you, you know, everybody's giving me advice winning the jackpot, you know, how to spend my money. Well, I had them give me a check, and then I had them take the taxes out too, so I don't have to deal with that. But I was nervous walking around with a check, so of course I looked for like a FedEx, open FedEx while it was the holiday weekend. So there's no FedEx, so of course, you know, I folded it all up and stuck it in my Bible and said that should be, you know, God should keep it safe for me. So that's how I brought it home. But anyways, everybody was telling me, oh, you got to do something for yourself. You know, make sure you do something for yourself with that money, blah, blah, blah. And I've been remodeling my house since I moved here and have made some great strides in that. But my front yard I left for last because I live in my backyard where my pool is, and I wanted that to look, you know, good. So we remodeled the inside, made another bedroom, totally changed the air, the AC unit and that throughout the house, put up a new fence, just a lot of different things. So I think I may use some of that money to take care of my front yard for a change. So then it will be pretty when I pull up. Anyways, so that's my recap on my vacation. And here's our envelopes that are going to go in our journals. Let me see, I've got this. So these, because I didn't finish the backs, you can either put them right here and then you would have a pocket here and a pocket here, or you can attach it there and you could have a pocket here or a pocket there and a pocket there. There's a lot of different things that you can do with them. So there you go. We've got these really cute envelopes that will go in. Look how cute. That will go in our journals. So another project done. Thank you so much for spending time with me and listening to me ramble about my vacation. It was just so wonderful. I was so excited about it. For spending time with me and listening to me ramble about my vacation. It was just so wonderful. I was so excited about it. And we're going to move along with these journals, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, everybody. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and if you ring the bell, you'll get notified when I upload the next video or new content. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.